going to be painful. Season 6, it's worse than I remember. It really is. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Now, this is this is the chaos of today. She just ran into the wall. Okay, take 2. Welcome back to the channel. And we have entered Crazy Town. I was live on Friday, and in the space between Friday and now, I've recorded this video already, and technical issues are making me record it again. And also, as of midnight today, last night, so today's when I've already lost track of the days. Yes, today is Wednesday. The Isle of Man has gone into lockdown for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, as you guys know, most of life here has been pretty normal. We had lockdown March, April, the beginning of May last year, and then we were pretty much normal. And then we had a lockdown in January for 3.5 weeks, and here we are again. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content coming up on the channel. So I'll talk a bit more about that at the end, and some other projects and things, really exciting things that are coming up on the channel. So make sure to hang about to the end of the video so that I can fill you in on all of that. But you know, I'm gonna start. That's the new format of the videos, that we'll just get into the L word and then kind of do all my usual catch-up-y things at the end. But if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like the video if you enjoy it, comment down below to let me know your thoughts and opinions on the episode. Don't forget to check out my merch store, and also don't forget I go live every Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific. Today's episode is season 6, episode 3 of the original L word, LMFAO. Our cold open / Jenny possible murderer this episode is Tina, and this is probably the Jenny storyline angle that I have the most issue with, because it's just so not possible that this is a reason, and I'll talk more about that in a sec. But also, I just don't, there's no way that that Tina would murder Jenny. Like, there's people that I can personally, one of my thoughts for, you know, the hiatus between the original and Gen Q was that Bette did it. Because speaking as someone who I feel as though I relate to Bette a lot, like, there are definitely circumstances that you could make Bette kill someone. I don't think there's really too many circumstances where Tina would. She just isn't that type of person. I just feel as though she just doesn't have that, I don't want to say viciousness, because I'm not trying to imply that like other characters are vicious. Like, I don't think Shane would have it in her. I don't think Tina would have it in her. I don't really think Alice does. So I just, but the main reason that I have major issue with it is that they use this whole Jenny / someone stole the negatives. And when this season came out in 2009, I used to be the like general senior manager of AMC theaters in Tampa and Orlando, and I used to have the downtown Disney one. I think it's called Disney Springs now, and the Universal Studios ones, bunch of different ones in Tampa. One of the greatest jobs I ever had, and AMC was an amazing company to work for. They treated their staff, most of the general managers at the time in Tampa were all gay women. It was really weird, but awesome. And they did like a It Gets Better video. And again, this is in like I worked there from 2009 to 2011, I think. And yeah, they were just awesome. They treated you even before gay marriage, they gave like people rights and all this stuff, like, you know, partners, same-sex partners, and they were awesome. And also you had so many perks, it was ridiculous. You saw movies early, like oh my god, the amount of shirts and hats and everything I have. I never paid for a movie ticket ever. And even friends, family, there was no limit on how many, you know, you could even call up. Like my sister was living in Oregon, all I had to do was send an email or call and say, hey, my sister's coming, put her on the list. Any amount of tickets, doesn't matter. Like, they're an awesome company to work for, and honestly I have nothing bad to say about them. And I think it's a travesty at the moment, the way the situation is with COVID. So I really like, I know that's a bit going off, but I'm just giving you my credentials so I can really adamantly and vehemently tell you that there is no way on this earth that someone taking the negatives would make a movie not be able to go to the theater. Because I mean, even in 2009 there were definitely about 2/3 of the theaters that I looked after had digital projectors then, so it literally, the movie would come on like a USB drive. But in the early days when I was working there, you used to get like the big reels of film, and you know, whenever movies coming out on a Thursday night or Friday, you literally have to splice the trailers together. So you'd have like a trailer pack. Actually, you don't get this on every channel. So this is the type of reel that you used to get. And this movie is The Hunger Games. So this is a trailer, and you're probably like, why is this woman telling me about trailer packs? An old school reel that, you know, doesn't really exist anymore, but it's a lost art. And so you'd get, like, this is the trailer for The Hunger Games. So you'd have, you know, 5-6 trailers, and what you'd do is you have this little device that it would cut the end, so you'd put it between and you'd like measure it and cut it and literally stick it with tape to the next one, and then you'd run it through this reel that would wind them all together. So you'd cut and paste physically all the trailers together, and they'd be on like a bigger spool like that. That's one, you know, 3-minute trailer. Like, that's how much film it takes. And then you'd have, you know, the movie, which is like it most of the time you'd have 2 people carry it because it's so big. It's like this big of spool, all wound up. And then you feed it through the projector. Oh, it's really complicated. Like, you have to learn to do it. You have to teach someone how to do it. And then, you know, while the film is going through the projector playing, it winds up again. And then the next time it's back to the start and you start it again. There's definitely circumstances where I've put a movie on and there's no sound, or there's this and that. But you can sort these things and you can fix them. And there's no way they would just have one copy of the movie, because the second it's shot, they make copies and copies and copies so that people can be editing it and people can be, you know, yes, there's an original physical reel, but it takes 2 seconds to copy it. And also some theaters are digital, especially in 2009, some were digital, some were reels. So they would have a digital copy that could be made into a reel, and vice versa. Like, there's no way this would be a reasoning. So now that I've spent 10 minutes talking about the cold open, let's talk about the rest of the episode. Jenny and Shane, I'm going to talk about together because they have pretty much every scene together. And yeah, the best thing about this episode, and this episode is not the greatest, is the bit where Alice finds out about Jenny and Shane and everybody gets the text messages. It's brilliant. It's so good. And then in that scene we also get the little Easter egg of Jenny and Shane talking, and Shane's talking about how she needs to, you know, go to work, and they're like, oh, you're doing Patrick Dempsey's hair? And Shane's like, no, I'm doing Eric Mavius's, and obviously we know Eric Mavius played Tim, and I think he was on Ugly Betty when this was shown this in 2009, this episode. So that was like a funny little thing, you know. Honestly, the Jenny and Shane, I'm just so not here for it. It's just, I just do not like them together really, and I'm, you know, I've been open about Shane isn't really one of my favorite characters, and Jenny at this stage has become like quite a caricature. And the only bit that I don't know why I always laugh so much at this bit, but when Aaron is like screaming at Tina and he's like, I know it wasn't you because I know you're not like an absolute lunatic, like for example Jennifer Schechter. And I think that's so funny because just at this stage, the thing that like annoys me about season 6 the most, and I always remember episodes 1, 2 and 3, and once this episode is over, because I always remember the Alice scene with everybody doing the texts. And then 4, 5 and 6 is like this mixture of random scenes, because obviously I remember the dance episode and I remember the last episode, but I just never rewatch these episodes. And episode 3, I've watched that scene, you know, with the text and stuff on YouTube the same way I've watched like Bette Tina scenes in season 6, but I haven't actually watched season 6 in so long. Like maybe I think I watched it when when I heard Gen Q was coming back and I rewatched the show, but I probably hadn't watched that season 6 since the original airing, and it's painful. The thing that bothers me the most about it is I cannot believe that this is the same show from season 1, because when season 1 came out and like when I first discovered the show, it was so groundbreaking and amazing. And I'm not saying the show is perfect, like yes, it has its issues, but to be able, you know, I was a late teenager, early 20s when the show was on. I graduated university in 2009, the year the last season came out, and I had a hard time dealing with being gay and all these things, and just to be able to turn on the TV and see people that were like you. And I had a hard time because the only gay women I saw on television were crude stereotypes, and I never saw people that were like me and reflected my values and the way I wanted to move in the world. So when I think about how much this show meant to me and how much it did for me and helped me so much in my journey and in other people's journey, and then I look at season 6 and I'm just like, why would you do this? Also, my conspiracy theory is in the last group scene when they're all at, I'm assuming She Bar, like the revamped She Bar, because they never really explained that either, and you know, Bet is hysterically like laughing and stuff. I think that Jennifer Beals is honestly like, I cannot believe this is what we're doing for the last season. She's just like, okay, just gonna laugh through it because I'm contractually obligated to be. Kit basically has nothing to do in this episode, and there's nothing really going on. Max isn't in this episode. I think he flashes up on Alice's screen, and you know, this right when this episode came out, I think this was the first iPhone, and I remember I changed my like ringer and text message to the duck quack thing because that's the one Alice was using. Helena, also really nothing going on this episode. I mean, was Jodie Foster's wife Alexandra Hudson not available for this episode, or they didn't want to pay her or something, because they just talk about her sending flowers, and then Helena randomly goes and hits on some other woman, and Kit and Helena open the revamped She Bar, and I can't believe that Helena and Kit would want it to look like this. It's just, again, bizarre. Tasha and Alice, I mean, are they just not following storylines anymore? Because Tasha and Alice last week were at Dan Foxworthy, the worst therapist for, I mean, women, lesbians, all of the above, and they're writing pros and cons lists about whether they should stay together. And then this episode, they're just not going to talk about it. They're carrying on like last episode did not exist. And Alice goes on her show, and I do get this element of you're not a fun gay, and because some people, like, they do use lesbians or gay men as like fun little accessories, and I've definitely known people over the years who do want me to be their like fun gay friend that hits on them and tells them they're beautiful and tells them that they don't need no man and all this stuff. And it's just, I've been there, done that, not interested in it. Like, I'll take my real friends, thank you. I don't want to feed your ego. And people use gay men like that all the time too, as like the fun, you know, BFF that go shopping with. And the second that things get serious, when, you know, okay, like, yeah, I'll tell you this dress looks better than this one and you look good in it, but also, hey, can you talk about gay marriage, or can you listen to me when I want to speak about representation in the media and all these things? And it's like, oh, you're not being a fan gay. Like, whenever it's on my time and I want to take you out of the box and play with you, that's fine, but you don't exist as like a whole person. And those people exist today too. So I get what they were going for with this, but there's 5 episodes left after this. Like, what are we doing here? And then they're like, oh, 5 episodes left. Yeah, let's Helena, Kit, nah, don't really have them do anything. Max, let's not even have him appear in the episode. But yes, let's bring in this new character, Jamie, to for I don't know what reason. Gee, what were they thinking? There's another Easter egg in this episode when Tina gets the text message from Alice about Shane and Jenny, and she's having a meeting with someone. The people she's having a meeting with are Angela Robinson and her partner, and Angela Robinson directed this episode too. And it's like, are these Easter eggs cries for help, or what is happening? Because I cannot believe the same people who did season 1 and season 5 and all these other like life-changing episodes of television created this. Like, why is Alice like talking a teenager off it makes no sense. And also this entire episode, like, it is literally like they said, oh my gosh, we didn't know we were back for season 6, are you joking? And they had like 2 weeks to put it all together, because the sets, the revamped She Bar, no way would Kit and Helena design it that way. Like, no way. The lighting is, I could not see what was going on at all. And you know, this is an insane issue in that they spoke about this at the Golden Globes on Sunday, and they were doing people hella dirty and muting their mics, which is not fucking right. And they just don't know how to light people that aren't the whitest people in the world. So that's just another grievance of this episode. So on to Bette Tina, and they don't really have a ton of scenes together this episode. They have the scene at the end, which, again, I swear that scene is just the cast all being like, what is happening? That scene goes on forever too. That scene is just, it's so, I mean, like, some of the things are funny and cute, but I don't know what was going on in that scene. And the main storyline of the episode for Bette and Tina is that Bette obviously, resigns slash gets fired from CU. And when the Previously came on, I was like, did I hit the wrong episode? Because Dylan and Nadia were in the Previously on the L Word. And I was like, oh, anything to see Nadia. Shout out to Jessica Capshaw. Just love her. It is a crime against humanity that she's not on Grey's anymore. And, you know, it wasn't her choice. Like, they didn't renew her contract. And Arizona, a lesbian character, was replaced by a straight white man. And then when Sarah Ramirez left, they were replaced by a straight white man also. So Grace, sometimes I have to call you out too, because Callie and Arizona were the two best representations we've ever had on mainstream television. The fact that, yes, one was gay and one was bisexual, but the fact that they were there and that was just a part of their complex and dynamic personalities, it's honestly, I get so infuriated that they're not on it anymore. I know that Sarah Ramirez, it was their decision not to be on it anymore, but the thing about Jessica Capshaw really bothers me like a lot, that we had to get rid of the like only fucking lesbian on fucking mainstream television. Anyway, back to Bette Tina. This is day 1 of lockdown, so I don't know where we're gonna be at like day 18 or something. The one other really good scene in this episode is when Phyllis is professing her love to Bette. Jennifer Beals just, again, like, not even really having to do too much, but she just kills it, like her whole everything. And even when she's like, Joyce, Phyllis, stop, like, it's just genius. And Phyllis, we're all there with you. Bette Porter, like, stan her, we understand. But yeah, that scene and the scene at the beginning with Alice are the really good bits of this episode. But there is just so much mess in between. It's real painful. And my fear is, because I literally have no memory of 4, 5, and 6, that I'm really worried about the next 3 weeks. And the next 3 episodes, the 3 of the worst episodes of the show, are gonna be reviewed over lockdown. So maybe I should take a break for a while, do Gen Q or something, because yeah, it's gonna be painful. Season 6, it's worse than I remember. It really is. And that is it for this episode, guys. I don't think that I need to tell you. This episode wasn't awful, because I think awful is coming, but the beginning, the Bette and Phyllis scene, and then like 2 minutes of the scene at the end, I didn't need, a 10-minute end, and that was pretty much the only enjoyable bits. I hate this whole forced, why everybody wants to kill Jenny, and the Tina storyline from a personal standpoint, like, just annoys me. And I really hope everyone learned something today about the movie industry. Maybe I'll start a TikTok telling people about what goes on behind the scenes in movie theaters. I'm joking. So on to what is coming up on the channel. We are having our live event, pretty sure it's going to be alive, with the L Word 19, Bette and Tina House of Stir Fry, All Things Tibet podcast, both hosts, and also the OGs, the L Word Online. Both of the ladies are going to be joining us, and I'm really, really excited about everyone who's coming on. And I think it's really cool that the L Word Online is, joining us as well, because I remember when the original show was on and I used to go to their site and like, you know, read spoilers and things like that. So I'm really, really excited, and it just, yeah, I wish that I could tell like Baby gave me about it. I just think it's super cool. So in my live on Friday, I'll be announcing the day and the time that we're going to be doing the live, and I'm just warning in advance, it will not be a favorable time for the UK because I'm the only one in the UK. Everybody else is mostly in the States, and because people are on East Coast time, Central and Pacific, we've had to make it like evening time for the US. So of course we will upload it afterwards and you can watch, and you know, it's going to be in a weekend, so if you want to stay up, that's cool. But definitely would love to have everyone who can come, so I hope to see as many people there as possible. And of course my normal lives will be continuing every Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific. And I'll probably be doing another one just because, as I said, I'm in lockdown now for 3 weeks, and yeah, I'm not going to be seeing anyone. I am working on a few little projects over lockdown, so you might get a nice, decent, long video from me, some L Word stuff, and then I'm also working on something else that's a bit more outside L Word sphere. But if there's anything that you guys would like to see on the channel, please let me know down in the comment section, and of course I will check it out. As always guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, follow me on all of the social medias because I post a lot of content over there and it helps you to keep up with the channel in between my videos. Don't forget to stop by my merch store if you'd like some L Word merchandise and to support the channel. It really, really helps me out. And also don't forget to come to the lives like I said. And coming soon will be my Patreon, which will be a bit more like personal and a bit more open about certain things that I'm not really allowed to talk about on YouTube because it would just be flagged. So it'll be more me and like LGBT stuff. So make sure to look out for that very soon. As always guys, thank you so much for watching and for going through this season 6 journey with me. I honestly, like, anytime I do one of these reviews, I'm like, I cannot believe that it's almost over. Like, I really thought that I wouldn't even get through to like season 4 before season 2 came back. Oh, that's like thinking back to this time last year. We were so young, so naive. We didn't know what was coming. So as always, guys, thank you so much. Make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.